Opus Dei. The name, Latin for work of God, evokes both reverence and intrigue. For many, it conjures images of secretive power and influence, a perception amplified by pop culture and novels like the Da Vinci Code. But is Opus Dei truly a shadowy force, or simply a devout Catholic group seeking holiness in daily life? Unlike traditional religious orders, Opus Dei is a personal prelature, directly under the Pope, with global reach and unique autonomy. Most members are laypeople, doctors, lawyers, homemakers, living and working in the secular world, which fuels both their mission and public suspicion. The group's discretion and refusal to publish member lists only deepen the mystery, sparking speculation about its influence in politics, finance, and media. Critics question where spiritual commitment ends and professional power begins, while supporters see a path to sainthood for ordinary people. Ultimately, Opus Dei sits at the crossroads of faith, power, and public perception, raising questions about transparency and the role of religion in society. As we explore its history and controversies, we'll see why Opus Dei remains one of the most polarizing forces in modern Catholicism. Opus Dei began in Madrid in 1928, founded by José María Escrivá, who believed ordinary people could achieve sainthood without leaving their daily lives. Escrivá's radical message, every task, at work or home, could be an offering to God. The group grew slowly in Spain, attracting professionals and workers eager to blend faith with daily life, then expanded internationally after World War II. Escrivá moved the headquarters to Rome in 1946, seeking Vatican recognition and influence. Opus Dei's structure is unique, led by a prelate, with members divided into numeraries, celibate, living in centers, associates, celibate, living with families, and supernumeraries, married, living in the world. This flexible network embeds members at every level of society, encouraging them to be exemplary professionals and citizens. Formation is intense: daily prayer, spiritual reading, and regular spiritual direction. Supporters see this as a way to sanctify the world from within. Critics see a disciplined, secretive network with unclear boundaries between faith and influence. The organization's integration into secular life is both its strength and the source of ongoing suspicion. Opus Dei's disciplined approach continues to inspire devotion and controversy. Opus Dei's finances are a constant source of speculation. Its reputation for wealth stems from successful members who pool resources, especially numeraries who turn over their salaries. Rumors link Opus Dei to Vatican bank scandals, though no formal investigation has implicated the group. Defenders say any financial advice given to the Vatican was in a private capacity, and that Opus Dei's funds support respected educational and social projects. Critics point to the lack of a consolidated global financial report, fueling suspicions of hidden influence. Whether seen as prudent stewardship or secrecy, money remains central to the Opus Dei mystery. Few Opus Dei practices spark more fascination or alarm than corporal mortification. Some members use a cilice, a spiked chain worn on the thigh, or a discipline, a small whip, as acts of penance. Defenders say these voluntary practices have deep roots in Christian tradition, aiming for spiritual discipline and solidarity with Christ's suffering. Critics and ex-members argue that intense internal pressure makes these acts feel less than voluntary, raising concerns about physical and psychological harm. In a modern world focused on well-being, self-inflicted pain is unsettling and controversial. Opus Dei insists mortification is a small, optional part of a broader spiritual life, centered on prayer and service, always under spiritual guidance. The media, they argue, sensationalizes this aspect, ignoring the group's focus on charity and sanctifying daily work. Still, the image of the cilice endures, symbolizing both the group's devotion and its perceived extremism. For many, this practice remains the most visible and misunderstood sign of Opus Dei's demanding spirituality. Opus Dei's influence peaked under Pope John Paul II, who shared its founder's conservative theology and anti-communist stance. In 1982, John Paul II elevated Opus Dei to a personal prelature, granting it global autonomy and direct access to the Pope. Critics saw this as favoritism, giving Opus Dei unprecedented power and bypassing normal church oversight. Members rose to key Vatican positions, most notably Joaquin Navarro Valls, the Vatican's press chief for over 2 decades. The rapid canonization of Escrivá, beatified and declared a saint within 27 years, fueled claims of Opus Dei's extraordinary influence. Supporters saw this as recognition of Escrivá's holiness. Detractors saw it as evidence of the group's sway in Vatican affairs. The era cemented Opus Dei's reputation as a powerful, disciplined force within the Church. Whether admired or feared, its close ties to John Paul II shaped its legacy for decades. The question remains, was this alliance about faith or about power? Opus Dei's secrecy and discipline have fueled countless conspiracy theories, from world domination plots to political infiltration. Popular fiction like the Da Vinci Code has cemented its image as a shadowy cabal, but reality is less dramatic. While some members hold influential positions, like UK Minister Ruth Kelly or Spanish government officials, there's no evidence of a coordinated global agenda. Allegations of political manipulation, ties to Franco's regime, or links to the CIA remain unproven and largely speculative. The truth: Opus Dei encourages members to excel professionally and live out Catholic values, which naturally leads some to positions of influence. Its origins in Franco's Spain have led to persistent rumors, but the organization itself was never officially aligned with the regime. Opus Dei is conservative, disciplined, and mission-driven, seeking to shape society through individual action and education, not secret directives. The most sensational claims belong to fiction, not fact. Its real influence lies in the dedication of its members and the reach of its institutions. The line between myth and reality is blurry, but the evidence points to a complex, not conspiratorial organization. To understand Opus Dei's place in the Church, compare it to the Jesuits, long the intellectual and progressive force in Catholicism. While Jesuits championed social justice and education, Opus Dei focused on sanctifying ordinary work and upholding conservative values. Under John Paul II, Opus Dei's influence soared as the Jesuits waned, reflecting a shift toward orthodoxy and discipline. The election of Pope Francis, a Jesuit, reversed this dynamic. His papacy emphasizes mercy, social outreach, and a less rigid approach to doctrine. In 2022, Francis curtailed Opus Dei's autonomy, requiring it to report to the Vatican's dicastery for the clergy and removing the prelate's episcopal status. Many saw this as a move to rein in Opus Dei and reassert a different vision for the Church. The rivalry between Jesuits and Opus Dei now shapes the Vatican's future, as Francis's reforms challenge the group's privileged position. Whether Opus Dei is a devout movement or a hidden power, its fate is now tied to a pope whose vision diverges sharply from its own. The Church's future will be shaped by this ongoing tension between tradition and reform. Opus Dei's next chapter is unfolding under a very different kind of papacy.